All right, all right, all right. Shalom, Ahab, Wa, Baraka. In other words, peace, love, and blessing. It's a translation from the ancient Paleo-Hebrew. First and foremost, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach Kadash. I want to give double honors to the elder apostles, the prophets, and the teachers that have been bringing out this 100% truth. And to the elders at GMS, double honors for staying in this 100% truth for the last 30 plus years. I just want to show you guys something real quick. I just realized when I sat up here that this picture is right here on the wall. So I want to show it to you guys. What does that look like to you guys? So that's where we're at today. And this is what's getting ready to go down too. Look at that. That's the picture right next to me. Can't make that up. I just brought a class out on that this morning. Let's get right into it though. Today, we're going to be going into end time prophecies. So, end time prophecies. Go to Isaiah chapter 29. And before we even get started, the word Ariel, when you go into the scriptures, it actually represents Jerusalem. So when you hear Ariel in the Bible, it's talking about Jerusalem. Uh, 29 start at verse 1. I gotta turn this thing on. Go ahead.
Isaiah 29, verse 1. Woe to Ariel. Woe to Ariel, the city where David dwelt. Add ye year to year. Let them kill sacrifices. Then I will distress Ariel, and there shall be heaviness and sorrow, and it shall be unto me as Ariel. Verse 3, and I will camp against thee round about, and will lay siege against thee with a mount, and I will raise forts against thee.
Slack, guys. Trying to get this thing to cut on. Isaiah chapter 29, KJV authorized. Isaiah chapter 29, KJV authorized. Now, we're in, people, we're in. All right, sorry about that. Isaiah chapter 29. And it says, woe unto Ariel. So woe actually represents total and utter destruction. The word Ariel means Jerusalem. So total and utter destruction to Jerusalem. And we're not talking about the location. We're talking about the ancient Israelites. Woe to Jerusalem. The destruction of the ancient Israelites. Not these Israelis. So it says, yet I will distress Ariel, Jerusalem, and there shall be heaviness and sorrow, and it shall be unto me as Jerusalem, or Ariel. And I will camp against thee round about. I will lay siege, I will attack, I will lay siege against thee with a mount, and I will raise the forts against thee. And you know what, I love that, the forts. So when you go into modern day history, you're going to see that the brown people are being deported and the dark people are being over-policed. This lines up with Scripture. This lines up with what the truth is. Most people can't understand that. They think, oh, I'm going to justify this. I can justify that. The Scriptures don't say that, though. Nope. The Scriptures clearly say that I will raise a fort. I will raise forts against these. What is it? What do they call it? Alligator Alcatraz. We've got literally FEMA camps all over the country. There's so many prisons in Arizona, we don't even need a FEMA camp here. That people didn't know that. Those are the forts that have been raised up against us. Let's get into this. So these are prophecies against us. And let's go read verse 4.
Isaiah 29 and 4. And thou shalt be brought down, and shalt speak out of the ground, and thy speech shall be low out of the dust, and thy voice shall be as of one that hath a familiar spirit out of the ground, and thy speech shall whisper out of the dust.
Thou shalt be brought down low. Which people on this earth are being brought down low? Who's being brought down to the lowest? Who can't get past a certain point in life unless the oppressor says so? They got to hand it to you. You can't even earn it anymore. They literally got to give it to you, no matter what kind of credentials you have. So it says, thou shalt be brought down low, and thou shalt speak out of the ground. Who's at the bottom of society? That's the ground. Ground represents servant. Heaven represents rulership. Most people don't know this Bible. They don't know what it's really saying. So the people that are servants are talking out of the ground. They're the dust of the earth. They're the smallest fragment of this place. And what do we get? We get abused. Abused by the oppressor. And there's a reason for it. Let's, in fact, let me finish that out. Thy voice shall be as one that hath a familiar spirit out of the ground. Thy speech shall whisper out of the ground. No one can hear us. No one can hear what I'm saying. I know that. I know no one's listening, but I'm doing the works. But let's get a precept. Why are we so low on the ground as Israelites? Why are we so low on the ground? Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and start at verse, I think it's 43, but let's check.
Deuteronomy chapter 28.
40.
48.
Start at 43.
Deuteronomy 28 and 33.
43.
43?
Yes,
Sorry,
43. Oh, sorry.
Deuteronomy 28 and 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low.
The strangers that are with us, among us, so now we got to go stranger in context. This is talking about the natural Gentile, a non-Israelite stranger. And they're going to be high above us, and we're going to be living in the ghettos and the projects. Does anybody know what the word ghetto means? It means designated area of town where the Jews are required to dwell. Look it up. It's your definition word for the week. It's your vocabulary for the week, I mean. So, 43, a stranger that is with thee shall get up above thee very high. And they keep us down here systematically at the bottom. Yes, you do. Now, keep reading.
45. Moreover, all... Wait, 44?
44.
44. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
He's going to lend to you, but you are not going to be lending to your oppressor. He is going to be the head over you, and you are going to be the tail. See, the Bible describes who the real Israelites are. Who's the tail end of this place? Who's the head over us? Who has rulership over us? See, that's why no one wants to open this book up and read it for what it really is, because this is the real truth. Keep reading.
45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed.
So, moreover, the curses that are written in the Bible will come upon those people that were given the laws that didn't follow them. So who's cursed? Who's cursed in this place? Because nobody's cursed except for the Israelites. Everybody's living the best life ever. Everybody's living the best life they can right now. The only people that are living at the bottom that get redlined, last hired, first fired, that's the Israelites. And those curses are going to be upon us for a sign for all men to know who we are. The denial can be all day long. I don't care about denial. Yeah, move it closer.
Move it closer.
Yeah, we're going to run out of sunlight here real quick. Real quick. We're going to run out of sunlight real quick today. So we're going to move things around right now. Try and block this thing. Stand right there. Yep, that's perfect. We're perfect. We're trying to stay out of the sun today. So, moreover, these curses shall come upon thee and pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed. So, what people got cursed until they were mentally destroyed? I don't see anybody else being mentally destroyed, only a certain people, the Israelites. The Israelites are a speckled bird in this day and age. But 200, 300, 400 years ago, they had a very distinct look. Then we got scattered to the four corners of the earth during the transatlantic slave trade. Now we look like all nations because we've been intermingled among the other nations. That's why when the scriptures clearly say, my inheritance is a speckled bird, it tells you, because you didn't follow laws, I'm going to scatter you to the four corners of the earth. You are going to be intermingled and look like the other nations. But the Israelites that have the actual look will line up to this. You know, the description in the Bible. This is the description in the Bible. So this is what the ancient Israelites look like. That's why in Acts 13:1, what does it tell you? It says Barnabas and Simeon were called nigger. And if I'm wrong, somebody prove me wrong. Bring your book. Let's get the Strongs out. Let's find out who's telling the truth out here. Let's find out. Keep reading.
46, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and a wonder, and upon thy sake forever.
So what is going to be on us for a sign and a wonder? Let me read the verse 45 again. And these curses shall come upon thee. Now let's skip to 45. 46. It says, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. We're the only ones that have straight up curses on us as a sign and a wonder. Ain't nobody else out here cursed. We're not redlining anybody. We don't own textiles. We don't own anything. If I open a company and I want to sell t-shirts, I got to sell t-shirts given to me by my oppressor. I don't have any of that stuff. Is this one mine?
No.
Um,
47.
Yep. Bring me 47. Bring it out.
Deuteronomy 28 and 47. Because thou servest not the Lord Yahweh with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things.
So it says these curses shall be upon thee. Why? Because thou servest not Yahweh with joyfulness and gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. No, the laws became grievous unto the Israelites. We don't gotta follow no laws. I can eat pork. I can do whatever I want. I can worship. I can call him any name. I can worship on any day. All that is a lie. We were taught to keep the Sabbath on a specific day. We were taught a specific name to call him. Now everybody's calling out God, which is a Babylonian deity of financial increase. G-A-W-D, God. And it's a Hebrew word. We call upon Yahweh, which means he is or he exists. We call upon the correct names that were given to us in the ancient times. And we're the only ones that are calling on him now. And you shall be hated for his name's sake. Because nobody wants to hear that name. They want to hear God and Jesus. Jesus means hail Zeus, little Zeus. Let's keep going.
48.
Yes.
Deuteronomy 28 and 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall set against thee in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in the want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
So we're going to have to go to our enemies in hunger. So they have all the food and thirst. They literally own the water. You got to buy water. That's something that's natural. And the want of all things, food, hunger, thirst, everything we get is from our oppressor. And then it says, I will put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until thou be destroyed. Well, guess what? We're starting to wake up again. So what are they trying to do? They want to reinsert that yoke of iron and try and destroy us again. But it tells you in Deuteronomy 28:68, when it talks about the transatlantic slave trade, it says that let's get it. Read 68 real quick. Yes. It tells us in 68 that this is only going to happen like this one time. Read.
Deuteronomy 28:68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
So it says, thou shalt see it no more again. The way that the Israelites went into slavery, you will never see it before like that in history, and you're never going to see it again like that in history. So if Trump thinks he's going to make America great again, he's rudely going to have a rude awakening. A rude awakening. It says that you will go back into slavery on ships. We're not doing that. Nobody's going back into slavery on ships. No. In fact, all you guys are doing is getting the 2/3. The 1/3 and the 144,000 within that 1/3 are protected. We're protected. The Most High's got us under a serious protection. And what protection is that? Give me 1 Kings 6 and 16, I think. Or,
And he built 20 cubits.
no. I think it's 1 Kings 11 and 16. No. 1 Kings 6, 17. No. I'm going to do it. And he said unto the Most High, so it opened his eyes. Second Kings 6 and 7. Second Kings, I kept saying 1 Kings 1. And so, get that.
2 Kings 6 and 17.
Yes.
2 Kings 6 and 17. And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes, that he may see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha.
So when I tell you that the 1/3 is under protection, believe me, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, will put a stumbling block on the people that go after his chosen elect. Guaranteed. Let me read it again. It says, and he answered, 6 and 17, right? And Elisha prayed and said, Yahweh, I pray thee, open his eyes, and that he may see. And Yahweh opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw. What did the young man see? He saw the angels protecting him and Elisha round about. That's why it's saying this. It says, and his eyes were open, and the young man saw. And behold, the mountain was full of horses, chariots, fire round about Elisha. So the chosen elect are always going to have that protection. And like he said, you can't see the protection, but with our faith, we know we're under that protection. The scripture said so. So I got to go by what this says, not man. So let's jump around some more. Let's go back to where we left off. Get back to Deuteronomy 28. Let's get back to these curses against us, which are also prophecies being fulfilled. These curses against us are prophecies, and they're being fulfilled daily.
42.
You know, when Charlie Kirk got so-called murdered, you know, they hung like 4 black kids across the country and a Mexican kid. No media on that. Nobody cares. They said that there was no foul play, that these people, I've never met a black person that tried to commit suicide. Our whole life is suicide. We have to start from the bottom and then fight our way to stay at the bottom. So there ain't no such thing as a black dude trying to commit suicide unless he's a chocolate Edomite. So anyway, going back to Deuteronomy chapter 28, you're at 45. And I want you to read 45, 46, and 47 together. But you're at 47. But you need to start at 45.
Deuteronomy 28 and 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee till upon be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee. 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and for upon thy seed forever. 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and gladness of heart for the abundance of all things.
So you're telling me what this scripture just said, you could be going through the motions, but the Most High can see right through that. So you might be serving, but if you're not doing it with joyfulness, with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things, he knows this. He can see it. Open right back up to the right page. Get that. So, most people find the laws to be grievous. Once you hear the word 613, that number, it tears you up inside. How am I supposed to give 613 laws? That's impossible. The laws are done away with. Really? The laws are done away with? So we can commit murder, we can commit fraud, we can do anything we want, and the Most High forgives us? No. It literally tells you in Ezekiel chapter 33, starting at verse 12, that a righteous man, in the day that he stops following the laws, the Most High remembers none of his words. None of them. And a wicked man, in the day that he finds righteousness and turns from his wickedness, all of his wickedness shall be forgotten. So, you're not saved. I'm not saved. Go back. Wait, I'm sorry. I lost my place.
47.
Nobody's saved. But we have to serve the Father in joyfulness. Most people, like I said, they find it grievous. And you can prove that in Mark. Yeah, go to the book of Mark. Chapter 14. And start at verse 4. Mark chapter 4. I'm sorry, Mark chapter 4. And I think start at verse 15.
Mark 4 and 15. And these are they by the wayside, where the word is sown. But when they have heard, Satan cometh immediately and taketh away the word that was sown in their hearts.
So it starts with someone trying to tell you what the Bible actually says. Then Satan comes immediately and he takes away the word that was being taught to you. Read the next verse, because this is what I'm talking about. People keep these laws grievously. They'll go through the motions, but you're grievous. It's supposed to be joyfulness and gladness of heart. Read.
And these are they likewise which sowed on stony ground, who when they have heard the word, immediately receive it with gladness.
So immediately when you hear the word, you're real happy about it. Next verse.
And have no root in themselves.
No root. Go ahead.
And endure, but for a time afterward, when affliction or persecution ariseth for the word's sake, immediately they are offended.
So there you have it. You're keeping the laws grievously. Oh, I'm so happy to hear about this law. What? I can't keep my same lifestyle? That's grievous. I can't do that. I can't follow that. You know what? Read 2 more verses. Let's prove it. Yep, 17 and 18.
And have no root in themselves.
Oh, wait, 16. Wait, yeah. 16 and 17. 16 and 17. Select.
And these are likewise which are sown on the stony ground, who when they have heard the word, immediately receive it with gladness, and have no root in themselves, and so endure but for a time afterward affliction or persecution arising for the word's sake, immediately they are offended.
So, once you find out that you have to do certain things to actually be in this truth, it's offending. Nuh-uh, these laws are done away with. I am justified in that. I went to the church and the church told me. But doesn't it tell you that God doesn't dwell in buildings built by man's hand? It says, go out in the highways and the hedges and preach to the wind. The wind are the people passing by. That's the wind. We're not supposed to be inside of buildings handing out offering plates. We're not here to take money from anybody. We're here to teach the Bible. That's it. 100% truth. Most people are going to burn in hell once they hear what this truth is, because they're going to deny it, they're going to go away from it, and then at the end, when it's too late, after the gospel's been preached to the whole world, then the end shall come. So once everybody's heard it, there's no justifying yourself. You can't say, oh, I did because this, or because that. That's what the Bible says. That's what you've been taught. I can show you that in the Bible. I can't show you that person in the Bible. Straight up, I can't show that person, because that person in the Bible would fall under the lines of Lucifer, the illuminated one, mocking and copying Yahweh. In fact, this country's ran by Lucifer. You guys call it the Statue of Liberty, but what you don't realize is actually a statue of Lucifer. And there's an exact statue of Lucifer with all of the same fixings. I forget what country it's at. It might even be in America. So you guys are doomed. Everybody that thinks this place is going to be great again, everybody that doesn't see the prophecies being fulfilled, these are prophecies. And right now it says, I'm going to judge Israel first, and then the rest of the nations. Guess who's getting judged? I see Hispanic type people being deported for no reason, and I see so-called black people getting arrested and over-policed in the neighborhoods. But who cares? Just as long as it's not you. As long as it's not you. People are going to find out real soon that this is actually the beginning of Jacob's trouble. Give me Jeremiah 30 and 7. Let's get it. Read that too. Jeremiah 30 and 7. Yeah, for alas, the day is great. It's the time of Jacob's trouble. And what is Jacob's trouble? Nobody knows, huh?
Jeremiah 30 and 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that God is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it.
So, this is the time, we're at the beginning of Jacob's trouble. You see all of the prisons getting filled up with just brown people. That's it. They're taking native nation people and trying to deport them. This is our land. I am an Apache. This is our land. Nobody belongs in this land except for the natives. And anybody saying manifest destiny, wait until the Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai manifests your destiny. When you find out what's really going to happen to you, you're going to find out. And it's going to be a great day for all the Israelites, because our time will be up and your time will begin. And then they're going to find out what it means to get tenfold, to get double the portion. Let's go back to the class. Isaiah chapter 29. Start at verse 5. 5 and 6.
Isaiah chapter 29. Isaiah 29 and 5. Moreover, the multitude of thy strangers shall be like small doves, and multitude of their terrible ones shall be as chaff that passeth away. It shall be at an instant suddenly.
Wait, stop right there. So chaff is like kindling. So when it talks about the other nations being chaff, he's saying he's going to use them to start the fire. He's going to light their asses right up. So it says, moreover, the multitude of thy strangers. What is a stranger? A strange. This, in this context, is talking about alienated or separated from Yahweh. To be estranged. Keep reading. Go to verse 6.
Thou shalt be visited of the Lord, Yahweh of hosts, with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire.
He said that he's going to visit us a certain way. So I'm going to show you guys, according to Scripture, what it says, what it's going to be like in the end of times. Let's see what it says. Matthew chapter 24. Start at verse, I think, 3. Hold on.
Matthew chapter 24.
Yeah.
Verse 3.
Yep. Matthew chapter 24, starting at verse 3.
Matthew 24 and 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? So
they're asking, what is the end of the world going to look like? What is it going to be like? So, keep reading.
And Yahweh answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you.
Make sure you're not going to get lied to, because the next thing you know, you're going to be having the mark of the beast. Keep reading.
For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many.
So first of all, at the end of time, many people are going to call, I'm Christ. No, Christ is over here with me. No, he's over here with me. They're liars. Keep reading.
For many shall come in my name.
Keep reading.
And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
So, just like in Isaiah 29 in the Old Testament, this is the New Testament, according to you guys. It's saying the exact same thing. At the coming of Yahushai, you're going to hear of wars, rumors of wars, earthquakes in diverse places. Is that happening? Yeah. Keep reading. Yes.
For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places.
What? That's happening right now. So according to the Bible, we are at the end of times. And you got to remember, the biggest and worst earthquakes, record-breaking every single year. So 2024, broke some records. Now in 2025, we're breaking records. Hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes. These things are happening in front of our faces, and we literally turned a blind eye to it. Keep reading.
And all these are the beginning of sorrow.
All of these are the beginnings of sorrow. Give me Jeremiah chapter 30. What are the beginnings of sorrows? I keep telling you guys.
Chapter 30.
Yep, chapter 30, and read verse 7.
Jeremiah 37, alas, for the day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it.
So we're living in the time of Jacob's trouble. Let's see. All of the so-called Mexicans or light brown people are being deported. All the dark brown people are being over-policed and put into prison and then disappearing forever. Now, let's not forget, like 6 months ago, when Trump decided to drop a bunch of immigrants out of a cargo jet, and they all landed in the ocean and died, and then floated to that resort. There was a super exclusive, a very highly exclusive resort for the ultra rich. That's where all those bodies washed up on the shore at. Just saying. Just saying. Keep reading.
For it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him.
Where are you reading from?
Jeremiah 30.
No, I'm sorry. Go back. Sorry, Slakia. You read Jeremiah 37? Go back to Matthew chapter 24 and pick up where you left off. But yes, what's going to happen when we get saved out of it? He's going to take us out of this captivity. And he's going to put our oppressors in captivity. Why do you think everybody hates hearing the Bible? Because everybody knows who they are in this book. You can deny it all you want, but we all know who we are. I know who I am, and you know who you are. Subconsciously, you're told on a daily basis who you are.
You said Matthew.
Matthew chapter 24. Pick up where you left off, and that would be verse 9.
Matthew 24:9, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
Didn't I just tell you that? You're going to be hated of all nations for the correct pronunciation of the name of the Most High, which is Yahweh. Bahashim, in the name. Yahweh Shai, his only begotten Son. Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. So Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Those are the names everybody hates to hear, because those are the names you call on when you really want some action, when you really want results. You pray to the real God, not this fake Babylonian deity of financial increase, which is G-A-W-D, which is a Hebrew word, which is God. Look it up. Look it up. Let's see who's telling the truth. Let's go to the book of, let's keep reading out of Matthew 24. Keep reading.
Verse 10?
Yeah.
Matthew 24:10, and then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another.
That's happening right now. Keep reading. People hate each other, people falling apart, relationships being broken because of the increasing oppression upon the people. So it's all by design to make these things happen. I mean, Abraham Finkelstein said this 20 years ago. He said that he's going to turn the men into women and the women into men. We're going to grind this place in the dust. Finkelstein. Look him up. Abraham Finkelstein. Let's see if I'm telling the truth still. Keep reading.
And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many.
We've got false prophets everywhere right now. If anybody's telling you about the Christmas program, the Bible says to not celebrate Christmas. If anybody's telling you about Easter, it says, I despise your feast days, and they worship the Holy Mother of Heaven. Easter is Ishtar. Ishtar is a female goddess of fertility. Keep reading.
And because iniquity shall abound, the love of money shall wax cold.
Because there's so much sin in the world, nobody loves each other. There's no more respect. It's on a steady decline. Keep going.
But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
But he that endure until the end, that is when you're going to be saved. So nobody's saved right now. Me and my sons aren't saved. We're not saved. We're out here teaching. So how are you saved? How did God save you? Oh, I'm saved in the name of Jesus. But it says, he that endurance. So you haven't been saved. You're not saved. It depends on your actions. And that goes into, give me Revelation 22 and 12. Yeah, Revelation 22 and 12. Behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be. So the Most High is going to repay you according to your works. You're going to get repaid according to how you worship, to what you do. So if you think you're justified in this truth and you're saved, he that endure until the end, that same shall be saved. Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 1. If thou comest to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. That temptation is trying to take you out of the truth. So how are you saved? How are you saved for so have to endure temptation?
Back in Matthew.
Back to Matthew.
I'm in Matthew.
Where were you at?
I'm at 14.
Yep. Read it.
Matthew 24 and 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all of the world, for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come.
That is beautiful. So this gospel is going to be preached unto all the nations. That way you can't justify yourself when the end really hits. You're not going to be able to say, oh, well, you know the law's good. Nope, you're going to know it. It's going to make your spirit clean. In other words, you're going to realize that you were wrong the whole time. Subconsciously, you already know it. Subconsciously, you know these things. But when it comes to the surface, it's going to be too late. Let's jump down to verse 24. Stay in Matthew 24 and jump down to verse 24.
Matthew 24. But there shall arise false Christ and false prophets, and shall shew great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect.
Nobody can lie to the chosen ones. You can say anything you want, but at the end of the day, we're coming with 100% truth that's going to shut you down. I want you to go back a little bit. Go to verse 21. This directly lines up. This is where I wanted to go anyway. When we were talking about Jeremiah 30 and 7, it said this is the time of Jacob's trouble. Give me Matthew 24 and 21. Just give me 21 first.
Matthew 24:21. For there shall be great tribulation, such as what not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be.
Keep reading. So that's right there. It's telling you once again the same thing it's talking about in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30 and 7. It's saying that there's going to be a time that's been like no time ever in history. That's starting to happen right now. They're literally scooping people up in front of our faces like we can't do anything about it or we'll get shot.
And except Matthew 24:22, and except those days shall be shortened, there shall be no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
Why do you think time is speeding up right now? The days are being shortened. The time is now. We are at the end. So everybody's coming to the end of the grace period. What happens after that 15 days when you don't pay your electricity bill? They cut you off. So what happens at the end of the grace period when nobody comes back to the Most High? Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai? You're going to be cut off. You're going to be cut off. And it says that the gospel is preached to the whole world first. So you already know what the gospel says, but you denied it. That's forbearance. Forbear means to reject. So when you see forbearer in the Bible, it's saying you rejected what the Most High was teaching. And you decided to go with your own vain imagination. And their fear towards me is taught by the precepts of men, not by the book. Not by the book. Because if you were going by the book, you would know that we were savagely, aggressively oppressed. And nobody gives a shit. I know that for sure. Let's go back to Isaiah 66, 15 and 16. Let's find out what the consequences. Let's find out some consequences.
Isaiah 66.
Yeah. Because when the end comes, there's no turning back. So we need to know what's going to happen in these end times. In fact, hold that. Go to Revelation 11 and 12, and then get that. First, we're going to get saved. First, we're going to get saved. Then the third woe will come. Let's find out if I'm telling the truth. Third woe means Third World War. So let's find out if I'm telling the truth.
Revelation 11 and 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended unto heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them.
They ascended up to heaven when Yahweh called upon them. They said, it's time. And they, now read the next verse. Yeah.
Revelation 11 and 13. At the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, and the earthquake were slain of men 7,000, and their regiments were affrighted, and gave glory to Yahweh.
So it says that we're going to be taken up into the cloud, and we're still going to be able to watch the destruction. And the destruction is going to be so great that we're going to be in fear, and we're going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. That's who's getting the honor over here. All those other lies and fake names, you're going to find out. Wait, close to there. No. Read one more verse. Read one more verse. Because it says we're going up to the clouds. It says that a 10th part of the city fell. 7,000 men, which is a number of completion. So what's the next verse say? Because I said we are going to be taken up before World War III. What does that say?
Revelation 11 and 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly.
So read 12 again.
And verse 12, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither, and they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them.
Now read 13 again, 14 again.
The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly.
It shows that we're taken into the clouds. And then the second woe is already past. That's World War II. The total and utter destruction. That's what the word woe means. The second total and utter destruction is past, and the third total and utter destruction is coming. So we're already in the clouds. Like I said, we're going to take it. Now that they know the destruction's coming, get Isaiah 66. Because simultaneously to your destruction, well, to simultaneously to our salvation will be your destruction. Isaiah chapter 66 and 15 and 16. Read them both.
Isaiah 66 and 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. 16. For by fire and by his sword, well, the Lord Yahweh will plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many.
So while we're being taken up, he's going to come at you. And what's coming right now? What do they got? What is that? The 3-1 Atlas or something like that? Whatever is coming in the sky, they're trying to do a media blackout on it. But there's too many people with telescopes that can just watch it. And these telescopes these days are phenomenal. They have a track and follow feature where if you find something, it'll track it down and it'll move with it. So you can watch it move. There's multiple sources saying something's coming here and it's making intelligent maneuvers. And then it says right here, read Isaiah 66 and 15 again.
For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots.
And with his chariots he's coming. What's in the sky, people? What are they talking about? All of a sudden we have Space Force. What do you think they're getting ready to try and fight against? Every movie that has to do with alien ships, you have been taught to fight against it. You have been taught to fight that. Let's see what happens when the real one shows up. Let's go back over to the class. Go give me 1 Corinthians 15 and 52.
First Corinthians 15 and 52. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised uncorruptible, and we shall be changed.
Keep reading. We're going to be changed before we. So our flesh, this flesh and bone, is not going into the clouds. It says that. It says that. Read. It says. In the moment of eternal life, the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and shall be changed. We're dead in spirit. That's why I tell you, can these dry bones live? It's talking about all these people walking around that reject the truth. Read 53.
For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality.
That's why people talk about immortality in the Bible, because the corruptible, when everything's changed in a blink, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, the corruptible are going to be made incorruptible. And the mortal is going to put on immortality. So that 1/3 and that 144,000 elect within the 1/3, they're going to be made immortal. That's how they're going to rise up into the cloud. You are not taking this flesh or this bone or your watch or your necklace or your shoes. Your socks. None of that's coming with you. None of it. You can't bring anything into this world. You damn sure can't take anything out. Yes.
1 Corinthians 15 and 54. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory.
Death being swallowed up in victory represents Yahushua. He conquered death. He conquered death because sin is death. And he came here and he committed no sin. He was the perfect lamb for the sacrifice. That's how death was swallowed up. That's how we defeated death. That's how we're victorious over it, by coming back to the 100% truth. Let's go back over to this guy right there. That's good. Let's go. Let's go back over to the book of Isaiah, chapter 29. Yeah, Isaiah 29. 6 and 7.
Isaiah 29 and 6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord, Yahweh, with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire.
And we've brought that out. We showed you in Matthew 24. This is the Old Testament saying exactly the same thing as the New. But you said this is all done away with. But it's saying the same thing in what you guys so-called the so-called New Testament. So, what was that? 6? Thou shalt be visited by Yahweh, Lord of hosts, Shabbaoth. The Shabbaoth means Yahweh's army. So when it says the Lord of hosts, it's saying that his army is coming to visit you. We already showed you the army in 2 Kings 6 and 17. When Elisha prayed for the young boy's eyes to be opened so he could see the protection because he was scared. And Elisha wanted him to have faith. So, it says, wait, where we are. So we're going to be visited with what? Thunder, with earthquakes, with great noise. That's the fighting. With storm and tempest, and the flame of devouring fire. So those things are happening right now. And that flame of devouring fire, I mean, we can go to Gaza right now because, well, Gaza's in the Bible. It says that Gaza was going to be destroyed in the Bible because it belongs to the real Israelites. The land of Gaza belongs to the real Israelites, the real Yahawada, the real Jews. For the lack of better terms, don't even know what I'm talking about. If I say Yahawada, you got to literally say the wrong name, which is Jew. That is not a real term. So, read verse 7. Yep.
Isaiah 29 and 7, and the multitude of all nations that fight against Ariel.
Remember, Ariel represents Jerusalem, but not the location, the Israelites, the people. So these other nations are going to oppress the real Israelites while they pretend like we don't exist. Keep reading.
Even though that fight against her and her
munitions.
And her munition, and that to stretch her shall be as a dream of a night vision.
We already got that. Read 8.
Read 8?
Yeah.
Isaiah 29 and 8. They shall even be as when a hungry man dreameth, and behold, he eateth, but he awaketh, and his soul is empty.
Has anybody ever done that? Had a dream that you're just starving, you're eating up the best food, you wake up, you're like, damn it was only a dream.
Or as when a thirsty man dreameth, and behold, he drinketh, but he awaketh, and he behold, he is faint, and his soul hath appetite. So shall the multitude of all the nations be that fight against Mount Zion.
Isn't that beautiful? He said, if you think you can beat the Israelites, you're dreaming. Straight up, you're dreaming. Let me read it. It shall indeed be as when an hungry man dreameth, and behold, he eateth, but he awakeneth, and his soul is empty. So he's giving you a metaphor saying, let me skip to the end. So shall the multitude of the nations be that fight against the Mount Zion, the real Israelites. So when it comes down to it, Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai is going to fight for us. The weapons of our warfare in this fleshly body are spiritual, not carnal. So we don't fight people. But the Most High will come down and whack the shit out of you. Guaranteed he'll put a stumbling block on you. And there ain't no jokes about that. We don't come out here to fight. We don't come out here to take money. We come out here to bring 100% truth. I've been out here for years. Tucson Meet Yourself comes out every once in a while. We're out here for years already. Don't see none of these people out here unless there's something. But I'll tell you what, when the Most High gets here, it's going to be like on the regular day where you can't find a person at all to be hiding. You'll be hiding from the truth, just like you do right now. Nobody keeps these laws. And anybody that thinks they're keeping the laws, lie to themselves. Let's go. So, like I said, if you think you're going to win this battle, you're sadly mistaken. The prophecies are being fulfilled. I mean, you can see this place slowly just crumbling downhill. Slowly, one drop at a time, this place is getting taken apart. And you know what? I can't wait. I can't wait. What I have to say to all of my enemies is, Ya eswa hahadua yemwa, I tell them man right. From evil, man right. You're all from evil. You're going to find out too. Let's keep going. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 54.
Isaiah
54 and 17.
Isaiah 54 and 17. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord Yahweh.
I already told you can't win. Now the Bible's backing me up. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. So you guys think you're winning these little battles? Wait until you find out that that's not the war. Yahweh hasn't showed up yet. Yahweh ain't back. But when he comes back, you're going to wish you treated us differently. Let's keep going. Let's go to let's get Proverbs 4 and 16.
Proverbs.
Yeah, Proverbs. It's right.
Proverbs 4 and 16. Right. In front of me, right under.
This is our enemy right here. This is the description of our enemy.
Proverbs 4 and 16. For they sleep not except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fail.
That's beautiful. Let me get that again. I gotta get that in there. Proverbs 4 and 16.
Proverbs 4 and 16.
No, wait. I'm going to get it in the New Living Translation. For evil people can't sleep until they've done their evil deed for the day. They can't rest until they've caused someone to stumble. And that is our oppressor in a nutshell. Evil people, they lose sleep at night unless they're doing something to you. They're going to lose sleep at night. You know, these ICE agents, they be losing sleep. Oh, man, Mexican got away today. Oh, man, they'll run you off the road and then arrest you and then charge you for their crimes. They're not in trouble as other men. They're not in trouble as other men. Let's get that too.
What are you getting?
They're not in trouble as other men. Give me Psalm 73 and 5. Just go to Psalm chapter 73. Let me check first. Yeah, that's right. But I want to see what's before that. Yeah. Go ahead, give me 5.
Psalm 73 and 5. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men.
So our oppressor, they don't got the same curses as we do. See, we were given a covenant at the Exodus from Moses, and we agreed to follow Yahweh's instructions. But since we didn't follow his instructions, now we have to suffer the curses. I already told you earlier, the curses will be upon the Israelites as a sign. So you know exactly who the Israelites are. The ones that are at the bottom of the earth. The ones that get rejected for everything. When you're a good guy, they come in and arrest you when you were the hero of the situation. We've seen it time and time again. I've been in a situation like that. We apprehended someone trying to break into a woman's house, and the cops came up. The first thing they did was try to grab me. Imagine that. That's what this world's really about. Our oppressor hates us like no other. He's savage. But it says these ICE agents and these other people who work for the government, they are not in trouble as other men. So he'll run you off the road with this car and then arrest you for it and then serve you with charges. That's still too high up here. Alright. You know what? Let's go back to the book of Isaiah. So, let's go back to the book of Isaiah. Chapter 29. Verse 13. Where you pick up that first one. gonna stay in 73 for a minute. I saw something I wanted to bring out. So I'm gonna read 5 again. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Let's jump down to verse 12. Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches. Verily, I have cleansed my heart in vain and washed my hands in innocence. So these people, these oppressors, they're the ungodly who prosper. Now, what does that remind you of in the Bible? Who's the ungodly that prosper? Give me Job 9 and 24. The ungodly that prospers. Let's find out who the ungodly that prospers is according to the Bible, according to Scripture.
Job 9 and 24?
Yep.
Job 9 and 24! The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof, if not where, and who is he?
The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Who runs this joint? Who's in charge? I want to know. What does he look like? The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the real judges. If not, where and who is he? You know what? I got a scripture. Give me 2 Maccabees 3 and 43, I think. Let's go to the 16. I'll get it. 16. It might be 1 Maccabees 6 and 6.
Go back to Isaiah.
No, wait. It's in 2 Maccabees. 1 Maccabees 3 and 48 is where it's at. 1 Maccabees 3 and 48, and it reads, and laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen sought to paint the likeness of their own image. Job 9 and 24 says the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. They covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Let me read it again.
So angry.
I'm happy. I got the faith of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua. All these wicked ass evil people out here, we don't care what you think. We don't care what you think, evil person. This is the Bible, 100% truth, word for word.
Fiction, you dumbass.
That's right. And when the Most High judges you, you're going to find out. And I hope he lets me watch. Now let's keep going.
Use the burden that he gave you, shithead.
That's right. You know what? The truth hurts. The truth hurts. The truth hurts. Powerful pain on the truth, huh? Oh, you dumbass, you shithead. You know what that's called? When people don't know something or they don't understand, they instantly go against it. It's all psychological. It just shows how stupid she is and how slow she is. She has a very low spiritual vibration. But you know what? Let me read it again. Verse 48, and laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen sought to paint the likeness of their own image. Who? That says it in the Bible. That's in the Bible. Wherein the heathen sought to paint the likeness of their own image. This is the real image. This is what the Bible says. This is what's described in Revelation chapter 1 and verse 13. You guys are funny.
Oh. I may be rude in speech, but not in knowledge.
Yes. 1 Corinthians 6 and 11.
Corinthians 6 and 11.
Or 11. Yes. 2 Corinthians 11 and 6. So if you guys think that I'm speaking out of turn, let's see what the Bible says about the way I speak.
2 Corinthians 11 and 6. But now I be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge.
I may be rude in speech, but not in knowledge.
But we have been thoroughly made manifest among you in all things.
We have been made thoroughly manifest. We have been made thoroughly manifest among you in all things. Among you in all things. So you got a question about this book, we're going to be able to answer it. Nobody has a question. Most people reject the book because they don't want to know how close they are to being burnt to a crisp alive. And yes, the Bible does talk about nuclear destruction. Who's seen the movie Terminator, where the woman gets burned in her eyes and her lip, and her tongue burns and melts right out of her mouth? That's in the movie Terminator, right? Let's see if it's in the Bible. Let's see if that's in the Bible. Let me get that real quick.
Isn't that when the angel said to I forgot who, but said not to look back.
And oh man, just hush it. I forgot what I was talking about. Let's see if that's in the Bible. What was I talking about?
The Terminator.
Oh. Okay, now you gotta let me do something. No, that's that what you I don't know. What you're talking about is not right. And your eyes and your tongue shall melt in their holes. Your eyes shall melt in their holes. Your tongue shall melt in the holes. What chapter, verse, and Bible? Zechariah chapter 14. Slovakia, and Isaiah 14:2. And their eyes shall melt in their holes which have been made, and their eyes shall melt in their holes which have been made. Zechariah 14, KJV authorized. Go to verse 12.
Zechariah 14 and 12, and this shall be a plague wherewith the Lord Yahweh will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem.
He's going to smite all the people that fought against Jerusalem.
Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes.
So wait, their flesh and their eyes are going to melt in their holes according to the Bible. That is nuclear destruction. Keep reading.
And their tongue shall consume away in their mouth.
Read it again.
And this shall be the plague wherein the Lord will smite all people that fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away, and their holes, and their tongue, and shall consume away in their mouth.
So, is nuclear destruction in the Bible? And literally tells you that I can read it in a different version, it'll tell you that their eyes are going to melt. Their tongue is going to melt in their holes. You guys don't get it yet? This is all happening. These are prophecies that are going to be fulfilled and prophecies that are being fulfilled. Let's go back over into, did we read 13? Isaiah 29:13. We were at 12. whole class has been off the top. I haven't been really using these notes today. Everything's been pretty much off the top. Isaiah chapter 29. Go to verse, where do we leave off at? 8? Read 9. Yep.
Isaiah 29 and 9. Stay yourselves and wonder, cry ye out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink.
They're drunken by false doctrine. They stagger because they don't understand the truth, because they've been taught a lie for so long. When you hear the truth, either you snicker, you turn your nose up, you try to walk fast. Everybody knows what's going on here. Nobody wants to hear what the Bible really says, because that would mean you would have to change some things about yourself. Keep reading, verse 10.
For the Lord hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and hath closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers, the seers, hath he covered.
So he's put deep sleep upon you so you don't understand the truth. And there's a reason for that, because you already rejected the truth. You heard it, you rejected it, now you've got deep sleep. That's why everybody is some kind of way. Nobody's right. Keep reading.
And the vision of all is become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed, which men deliver to one that is learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I cannot, for it is sealed.
Dang. One more.
Verse 12, and the book is delivered to him that is not learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he said, I am not learned.
Wow. So this is a curse for constantly breaking the law. I want to say that, I don't know why I was wondering, because I put in my notes, Jephthah, and I'm thinking the book of the story of Jephthah, but no. Jephthah from one body, who previously was one body in Yahushai, but then somehow has over $1 million in his bank account, removed the name Yahushai. IUIC did the same thing. They removed the name Yahweh, Lahashim, Yahushai, and now all of a sudden they have a bunch of money in their bank. There must be something about this name that everybody hates. There must be something about it to get paid not to say it by the government. You guys don't really know what's going on. You really don't know what's going on. You really don't. And when the end gets here, they're going to be like, oh, I remember those weirdos. I remember those crazy guys. The ones that read the Bible word for word, and then they broke down the definitions of the word like it was a vocabulary lesson so people could understand. You don't want to understand. That's the real truth. You don't want to understand. So this is a curse for continually breaking God's law. Jephthah of a certain Israelite camp, the leader, he's a perfect example of that. He literally removed the name Yahushai for money. He did it for filthy lucre's sake. What is that? Give me Titus chapter 1, verse 10 and 11. Yeah, Titus chapter 1, 10 and 11. It's right at the end of the Old Testament. I'm sorry, Old Testament. Sorry. Salakia too. I guess verse 1.
Titus 1 and 10, 11.
Yeah.
Titus chapter 1 and 10, for there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision. Verse 11, whose mouth must be stopped, who shall hurt all houses seeking things, which they ought not for filthy lucre's sake.
So it says that, I gotta get there. It literally tells you, for there are many vain and unruly talkers, especially our own people. That's they of the circumcision. Our own people are probably the worst. And then verse 11, it says, whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert. What does it mean to subvert? It means to destroy. They destroy whole houses for filthy lucre's sake. What is lucre? So they destroy whole houses for dirty money. They tell lies so they can take money. That's why I said Jephthah was a perfect example. He removed the name Yahweh, and now he has $1 million in the bank. People really don't know what's going on out there. Let's go back over to Isaiah 29. And I want you to give me verse 13. I've been waiting for this verse all day because this is the real worship of this society. Read.
Isaiah 29 and 13. Wherefore the Lord said, for as much as the people draw near me with their mouth and with their lips to honor me, but have removed their heart far from me, and their fear toward me is taught by precept of men.
So that is wherefore Yahweh said, for as much as these people draw near me with their mouth, a bunch of fucking lip service, is draw near me with their mouth and with their lips do honor me. That's true. But have removed their heart, which represents your brain or your mind, your capacity to think. So they have removed their heart far from me. Your mind's not in the right place. You're worldly. You have not come back to the truth. People say they've come back. I'm a Christian soldier. Okay, that's neat. It's a neat story. So for as much as people draw near with their mouth and with their lips do honor me, have removed their minds far from me. Their fear towards me is taught by the precepts of men. What are the precepts of men? The stupid lies they make up to scare you into following their rules. Those are the precepts. That's why it says the fear towards me is taught by the precepts of men. They use fear for this. We're about done here. Let's keep going though. I'm gonna check this. We already went over Ezekiel 33. We already passed that. So we got a couple more scriptures and we're gonna close out. Jeremiah 12.
Jeremiah 12. Jeremiah 12.
Jeremiah 12. Yep, let's get it. Jeremiah 12. 2 and 3.
Jeremiah 12 and 2. Thou hast planted them, ye. They have taken root. They grow ye. They bring forth fruit. Thou art near me in their mouth and far from their rings.
Keep reading.
But thou, O Lord, knowest me. Thou hast seen me and tired mine heart. Cried mine heart. Authority. Call them out like sheep for the slaughter and prepare them for the day of slaughter.
That's beautiful. He said, I've been tried. I'm true. But the rest of them, they're going to be just like, he's going to pull them out for the slaughter. He's going to separate the sheep for, watch. Take the wheat and put it in the barn, and take the tares. Put the tares, light them on fire. Take the wheat and put it in the barn, take the tares, but what's that? Matthew chapter 13. Let me go to it. Matthew. So we're going to look Matthew chapter 13. Start at 24. Matthew 13 and 24. We're going to read this parable about the good and the wicked, and you're going to see.
Matthew 13 and 24, another parable. But he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field.
Keep reading.
Matthew 20, verse 25, but while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. Verse 26, but when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. 27, so the servants of the household came and said unto me, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then have they tares? 28, he said unto them, an enemy hath done this. The servant said unto him, wilt thou then that we go and gather them up?
So the enemy has put the evil people with the good people. That is the parable of the wheat and the tare. Keep reading.
But he said, nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them.
So he's saying, let the good and the evil grow together until they're right. And it says, don't pull them apart because you might take out some of the good people with the bad. Keep reading.
Verse 30, let both grow together until the harvest, and then in the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tares and bind them, the bundles to burn them, but and gather the wheat into my barn.
The barn represents Revelation chapter 11 and 12. And I heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended into heaven. That's the barn. It said, take the tares. Take these wicked motherfuckers and bind them up and burn them to a crisp. Let their eyes melt in their holes. Let their tongues melt in their holes. We've read it already. We've already shown you this stuff. Everybody is doomed unless they come back to the 100% truth. Not to Christianity and the Christmas program and the Easter program and all the bullshit that they've been lying to you about for all these years. The truth hurts. The truth isn't fun. The truth isn't... The only people that are going to be rejoicing at the truth are the oppressed. Because they find out, what? There's a light at the end of this dark tunnel? All I have to do is follow instructions? This is great. This is great. This is what I've been waiting for. We're going to close out. Give me let me see. I'm going to close out with, give me Obadiah 1 and, Obadiah 1 and 15.
Obadiah,
Yeah, Obadiah.
chapter
1.
Obadiah, chapter 1 and 15. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen, as thou hast done it, shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head.
The day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. thy reward shall return upon thy own head. So if you think you're going to get away with this, thy reward shall return upon thy own head. You are doomed. You are doomed. You're going down. Read the next verse. Yeah.
Obadiah 1:16. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so
Israel is that holy mountain. Keep reading.
so shall of the heathen drink continually. They shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been.
They shall drink. They shall swallow down. They shall be as they had never been. So, in other words, somebody's going to be disappearing around here. See, we're going to get rid of some people. That's what the Bible's saying.
I'm an alcoholic.
Well,
I'm going to die an alcoholic.
you probably will. What do I mean to tell
I'm
you?
not ashamed of it. I'm the truth. I'm the truth.
Here's the truth. The truth is your people were savagely oppressed. This is the real truth. Here's the truth. I'm Apache too. This is the real truth right here. This is how we were really treated. And as thou hast done, it shall come upon thy own head. As thou hast done, it shall come upon thine own head. It's written word for word in the Bible. I hope you laugh it up too, because when your destruction comes, the Most High is going to be the one that you're going to be looking in His face, and you're going to be wishing you never heard this truth, because then you would have, well, I didn't know. Everybody knows. Everybody knows the truth. Deny it, forbear it, reject it. Forbear means to reject. Reject it all you want. It doesn't change the fact that this is the 100% truth. And with that being said, give me Revelation 22:12 again.
Revelation 22:12 again.
Yes.
Oh. Revelation 22:12. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be.
So if you got eyes to see and you got ears to hear, I hope you got something out of this passage. Facing almost to the east. And we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Ba'akadosh. Double honors to the elder apostles, the prophets, and the teachers that have been in this 100% truth for the last 30 plus years.